Your videos are funny. This isn't a complete waste of time.
What are you doing? So I thought I was going to be late to the whole coronavirus thing, but since people are literally protesting this shit, I have plenty of time to make a video about it. So I saw in the news that our president said we should basically be drinking bleach in order to get rid of the virus. So I'm going to take one from the YouTuber playbook and capitalize on this cultural phenomenon. So after looking for about an hour, I found that hand sanitizer is actually a disinfectant. So I found that this stuff is about 68% alcohol. So all I need to do is get this stuff straight into my body and I can rid myself of the virus. Or get extremely turnt, if that's what you're into. This one is specifically scented like water. I don't know whatever fuckwad thought that making a water scented hand sanitizer was a good idea. And what the fuck does water even smell like? Some guy's probably just chugging bottles of this thinking, damn, this tastes pretty good, I should make a hand sanitizer out of it. And what the fuck does water even smell like? Anyway, but to get rid of the virus, we have to inject this stuff straight into my body. So I did some research on the internet and apparently to inject something, you need a syringe. This episode is gonna get really dark. All right, so first off, I need some sort of firing mechanism to get the syringe across the room and into my body. Usually how toy guns work is that there's some sort of air compression mechanism, so when you cock it back, it pressurizes a chamber, which is then gonna release the air, which pushes the bullet forward. But those don't quite have the power I'm looking for. So I got an air compressor. This thing has enough power to kill me if I'm not careful with it. Model everything on Fusion 360. Wait 36 hours for the parts to print. Pneumatic valve, slap those pieces on there, put a solenoid in, inject with some electronics, boom, anti-coronavirus gun. So I don't know how to do this without getting instantly banned from YouTube. So back when I lived in Manhattan, I used to go to this stamp store. One day the store owner was like, hey, we just got this new design in. So I can't show this for obvious reasons. It depicts a woman praising Jesus. So back when social gatherings were allowed, when I went to these social gatherings, I would bring this stamp and an ink pad with me, and I would kind of just go around stamping people with it when they were too lit to care or do anything about it. So this gave me a pretty good idea on how to test my pressurized gun. Oh my god. You see, coding isn't much of an exact science as it more is an art form. Art is what coding is all about. I call this one my mental state. Now, who would let me test this on them? Suncook? Okay. So you're just gonna put your arm right down here. Yeah, that's good.
Oh my god.
Oh, that kind of worked. Turn this up a tiny bit.
Oh my god. Ow. Whoa, I feel like that's actually kind of permanent.
No, it'll come off.
And subscribe.
You're way better at this than I am.
Maybe I have ADHD.
Alright, so to cure our subject of the coronavirus, we need to actually be able to know if this thing is strong enough to inject them with. So to test this, I have an apple right here. What I need to make sure of is that this point that I've attached to the end of the anti-coronavirus gun is strong enough to get straight into the apple. Backfire on you. Oh. Holy, wait, that actually went just straight through. Oh. Okay, I think I have to do a little bit more testing. Wait. And lastly, I 3D printed this syringe. Okay, the goal now is to get the syringe into the apple. So this thing actually sucks and doesn't shoot very far.
Yo.
It's possible. I have a really bad idea. Don't you hate it when you are just trying to go trick-or-treating and the dude from across the street gives you an apple and just has a bunch of razor blades in it?
Happens to me all the time.
Freaking third time this week. Yeah. In theory, we should be wearing goggles or something. Whatever.
Oh! Woo!
And then you just, all the anti-coronavirus stuff into the apple.
There you go, antibodies.
Is that what that is? Be free!
Who's that Pokemon?
Me explaining how the code works. It's cool, I swear. Now, having a little piece of shit gun that shoots when I pull a trigger is okay, but I want to make this a little bit harder. The way I'm going to make this more interesting is I'm going to do it so it fires when you cough. I'm going to make it go off when someone shows symptoms of coronavirus. No one actually knows what the symptoms of coronavirus are. When I got off a plane, someone scanned my forehead. What I'm going to go with is if someone coughs, it's going to go off. I couldn't find any examples of this online, so I implemented something called machine learning. Machine learning is when you want to do something that sounds way more complicated than what you're actually doing. This shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, but there weren't any cough classifications online, so I had to build my own. You take the sound file, which traditionally looks like this, and use something called a Fourier transform to turn it into something that looks like this. Then lastly, you turn it into a Mel spectrogram, which makes it look like this. And that allows me to compare different sounds to one another to see how similar they are. Now, the problem with machine learning is it requires a lot of data. This is science. So after doing this for about an hour, I got really lightheaded and just started using samples from the internet. All this is going to be written in Python. One thread is listening and outputs all the sounds to a file, while another thread simultaneously consumes those files looking for coughs. These files are then fed into my cough model and their spectrogram differences are calculated. Easy. But James, you broke your Raspberry Pi in the last video, so how are you going to do it? Yeah. With the help of a library called Pyformata, I can take the Python code, transform it into Arduino code, which I'm going to use to listen to whether someone's coughing or not. Doing this is extremely roundabout and not necessary at all, but I cannot wait another week for Raspberry Pi to get here. So, make do. So, I definitely don't have the coronavirus, but maybe you stole an apple from some homeless guy and need to now make sure that it doesn't have any plague in it before you eat it. Oh, what is that? Are you not feeling very well? Oh good, we are now cured. Good thing we injected this apple with disinfectant so that it doesn't have the coronavirus anymore. Well, that was about as anticlimactic as could be. So what did we learn from this experience? Coding is too much effort. Now, since the last video I posted, we've quadrupled in subs. So that was cool. So share this video with your wife's boyfriend so we can keep this train rolling. And thanks for watching.